Nkosi sikelele Africa. Indeed, God bless Africa and all her children. In just a few days, Africans all over the world will commemorate the founding of the Organization of African Unity in 1963. The joy and hardships overcome, the mystic beauty and pain of our continent, and of course, to take stock of what we need to do going forward on Africa Day this coming Wednesday. That's the 25th of May. Share your thoughts with us about the day or even something unique about your country's heritage by tweeting us at Trendz on SABC. Of course, a big welcome to you all watching. Call and message all your family and friends all over the continent with DSTV and tell them it's time for Trendz on channel 404. My name is Refiwe Muilwa. Let's first take a look at the biggest local and international news making headlines this past week.
South African actress Nambita Ben-Mazwi has landed herself an international role on a series called Black Mirror. She plays a stereotypical LA American woman who is glamorous in a sci-fi version of today's society. Mazwi's role comes after a number of other roles that she had in the country, like in a drama called Doubt. Doubt is a crime drama packed with the secrets of a rich family and a murder mystery in the picture that has to be solved. The production was shot in Cape Town in March. 3 South African films, Ayanda, Tell Me Sweet Something and Hear Me Move, dominated the 2016 African Movie Academy Awards nominations list. Ayanda and Tell Me Sweet Something led the South African nominations, with both films nominated for 9 awards at the ceremony. The 2 films will compete against each other in most of the major categories, including Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress, and the prestigious Best Film Prize. The awards will be held in Port Harcourt in Nigeria next month. South Africa's DJ Black Coffee will be credited with the International Achievement Accolade at this year's 22nd South African Music Awards. Black Coffee was praised for his appearance at the 2016 Coachella Music Festival in California. Black Coffee began his career back in 1994 and has released 5 albums and 1 live DVD under his Johannesburg-based record label, Solistic Music. The award ceremony will be held at the Chief Albert Lutile ICC in Durban next month.
And now the biggest celebration of African cultural heritage is back for the 12th year in Newtown on the 28th of May. The Africa Day concert is a star-studded celebration that will see some of the continent's biggest acts take to the stage. The baseline in Newtown has been the home of this celebration, and this year is particularly special with a strong focus on empowering female artists. I'm now in studio with director of the festival, Brad Holmes, to tell us more. Welcome to Trendz, Brad.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So as we were just saying, Brad, 12 years later, and I mean for the baseline, it's 22 years that the establishment has been there.
Yes.
Amazing,
yeah.
amazing.
Yes.
And you know, it's become such a place that is so synonymous with the best of African music. Tell us what is in store for this year's Africa Day concert.
Okay, so it's taking place in Newtown Park, which is right next to the baseline,
okay.
the park outside the baseline. Okay. What we have focused very strongly on the female performers. So we've and then also getting a balance with commercial and authentic African music, right, which is very important, so you can get a balance of both.
Okay.
So we have YJ, who is from Nigeria, right. But she's the soul queen of Nigeria. She's sort of 3-octave voice. She's a judge on The Voice, I should say, and she's a UN ambassador, and she really collaborates with a whole bunch of people, including Patter Ranking, who's a dancehall guy. You know what I mean? So she's quite diverse in that in that way.
And there's a band also from Benin. There's guys from the Reunion Islands.
So we've got Maya Kamati from Reunion, Zonke, who's probably South Africa's hottest property at the moment. The
as well as the others, the Soil, Malay.
I mean, Malay is also hot at the moment.
So many. Oh, fantastic. And just, you know, leading up to this, you know, from last year, what did you take away that you said, okay, this year you have to implement a few changes that will make, you know, the 12th concert even bigger? Well,
the big thing for us has always been raising funding so that we can put the show on, because it's a television broadcast on SABC2, and that requires a lot of infrastructure. So what we've managed to do this year through the Department of Arts and Culture, the National Lottery Commission, and SABC too. We've managed to raise enough money to put on a decent broadcast, because the broadcast is the fun part.
The fun part,
yeah.
The very, very stressful part as well.
It's just so much fun, and it's live.
Yes.
So there's no margin for error.
Right.
And the artists also are really put in fantastic performances.
Okay.
So, but what we've also done is we've balanced it, just to talking lineup with. We've got Oliver Mutukudzi, who's a personal favourite, legend. So we've added a legend into the mix.
Right. So there's a mixed bag of musicians and artists, catering for all age groups.
Yeah, and Oliver's going to sing Neria with Wajé, which will be really, really nice. Okay. There's a band called Songhoe Blues, who are probably going to be the band that are going to take...
They're from Mali. Timbuktu, okay.
Yeah. So they were all prisoners of war when there was the Islamic thing that took place. And they all moved into a prisoner of war camp and put a band together.
Wow.
And they're inspired by Ali Farka Touré, Jimi Hendrix, that kind of...
all phenomenal desert
blues
artists.
Stuff, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. And I mean, Brad, with you, what is it that you, through music, what is it over the years that you look back and say, I've achieved X, Y, and Z because of the music and, the contribution you've made to African music as a whole?
Well, we and everybody who works at the baseline, we're all very passionate about African music, big time, and have been. So we do a lot of African music, generally speaking. All African acts generally perform at the baseline. We're just really passionate about it. It makes my world go round, I suppose. I don't know. That's just what we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to have a big celebration for the baseline itself? Maybe when it gets to 25 years.
Yeah. I mean, we're probably going to go. I mean, I'm probably going to end up going. I don't know. It's the only thing I've actually done, so I'll probably end up doing it for about 40 years.
Jeez.
I hope so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's talk about quickly tickets and social media. Where do people get all the information for next week?
Okay, so if you want to go on www.baselineafricaday.com.
All right.
Very importantly, it's ticketpro.co.za.
And ticket cost?
$210.
All right.
Okay, and you can literally buy your ticket at home, print it, and take it
at the door.
And take it and go to the concert.
Thank you so very much, Brad, for all you do for African music.
No, thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Cool.
Now, Africa Month is celebrated every year in the month of May, as we know, in states which are members of the African Union since that historic day in 1963. Now, today, Africa represents a whole new world, and being an African has become more than just about geography. We caught up with a few trendy on-air personalities to get their take on why we as a people, despite the challenges, are the epitome of cool and fab.
We are truly and proudly African, and there's nothing wrong with us. We are as human as the rest of the human race and should be taken seriously. We are business savvy. There are doctors, there are entrepreneurs who are ready to take on the world. And I think it's a holistic message that we need to send out to the rest of the world, that indeed we are open for business and we have a bright future. We don't need handouts. Yes, we have challenges, and so does the rest of the world. And we need to be taken seriously.
It's time for us to show the rest of Africa where we're going. We're not the Africa that everybody used to know. We're evolving, we're growing, we're tapped into the pulse of the continent, and we're evolving and innovating on a daily basis. So for us, it's really important to showcase the innovations and the developments across the board, whether it's fashion, technology, or business. There is a huge amount of growth, and we really want to inspire and motivate the rest of the continent.
From my side, I can say Africa Day simply means a day when you come and embrace each other in terms of getting to know your fellow African, and much more than anything, share information. Get to know who you are and what you are all about, and much more than anything, where you are from.
The significance of Africa Month is to remind us that we still have a hell of a long way to go, and hopefully to remind our leaders that, you know, when the OAU started, it was about Africa. It wasn't about you. It wasn't about hanging on to power. It wasn't about a third term as president. And I think a lot of our leaders have lost their way in that regard, that they've started making it about them and their friends. We've got leaders running their countries like it's some sort of club where it's just me and my boys. And I think all of that needs to stop.
So interesting that you see so many people have a very weird view about Africa, you know, loin skins, djembe drums, the sort of, you know, Western view of Africa. And for me, it's to continue pushing so the international mandate to say, look at us, we are globally competitive, we've got the resources and the know-how and the manufacturing capability. So yeah, the guests will be quite interesting for the next year, and I'm looking forward to kind of flying the African flag really, really high.
What it means to be African is a continually evolving concept, and it's one that is being challenged by Africans, and it is one that leaders are trying to define for us as people, and a lot of people are jumping onto different rhetorical bandwagons, and people are trying to define where we are in the world and our place as individuals, but as nations as well. And this is the age that Africa will and must rise, and I think that now more than ever we should be contemplating and critically engaging with what it means to be who we are, and we use times like this to do that.
For me, Africa Day means, just being inspired by, some sort of common determination to promote understanding when it comes to, Africa as a whole.
We are humans, we are all Africans, I feel, but at the same time, as an individual, knowing exactly who you are, where you're from and where you're going. We're young, we're vibrant, we're excited about life, but of course knowing each and every and understanding the next person where they're from, so that we can unite as a nation.
We connect with different cultures. This is us connecting with the food, with fashion, with arts and music. All of that promotes Africa and makes us what we call what. We've got a slogan right here on Trends Africa Radio, One Voice, One Africa, and in that we use all of that culture to become one.
And so that's not the only big concert happening, the Africa Day concert happening next weekend. You can head out to Pretoria for a 3-day conference followed by a concert. The annual Tshwane Music Conference, powered by the city of Tshwane, is kickstarting from the 23rd to the 25th of May at the Pretoria Showgrounds with an impressive lineup of guest speakers, including some of the country's finest talent. Nasty C, DJ Naves and Spectacular, along legends like musicians Oskido, I Believe. Now, this is a place where aspiring musicians will have an opportunity to showcase their talents alongside established heavyweights. Fantastic prizes will also be awarded to the top identified talent at the conference, including sound equipment, a 3-year recording deal, and a mentoring program. My goodness. Now, you definitely don't want to miss out on this great opportunity if you want to follow, in this career. So make sure to get your info from www.uhurumusic.co.za. And with that, it's time for an ad break.
What's wrong with Triple M? What is illegal here? Who is being defrauded here, Trevor?
It is about the best interest of the citizens of this country.
But the citizens are the ones who are playing, who are members or participants in this. If you put in 50,000 rand, after 12 months you get 1.2 million rands. I mean, who wouldn't go for this?
Watch Question Time with me, Mpho Tsedu, Monday to Thursday at 5:30 p.m. on the SABC News Channel.
Welcome back. You're still watching Trends. So we recently caught up with an artifact collector and a photographer who have toured our continent extensively. Most recently, the beautiful Zanzibar. And each time they go on their adventures, they bring back a little piece of all the places they've visited. Take a look.
A place where the spirit of adventure begins, with never-before-seen treasures brought back from around the world. And along with it, moments of beauty and culture are captured. Amatuli is an extension of a journey travelled, a place where everything bought is original, handcrafted and created with skills long forgotten. Mark Valentine has been an artifact collector for over 30 years and is the proud owner of Amatuli.
I started 30 years ago in this game. I came down from Zimbabwe. At that time it was very hard to get a job, funny enough. So we started collecting artifacts in the Zambezi Valley and selling them on the Nickel Highway. I don't know if you remember the time when there were all those traders on the Nickel Highway. But I've had a long journey with tribal art and managed to travel all over Africa and all over the world. collecting what I call found objects, things that appeal to me, and bringing them back to South Africa. And slowly but surely, we've built Amatuli into a sort of business now that's 30 years old. It's done its time in the saddle.
Africa is beautiful, culture deep, colourful and unique. Valentine talks of his travels around the continent and his idea behind the story of an African city, Zanzibar.
It's a dream of mine and a journey. I've been lucky enough to visit Lalibela in Ethiopia and Aksum, the home of the Ark of the Covenant, and all these amazing old places. And when I was in Zanzibar, looking past the tourists and the gin and tonics and the vodkas, there were very powerful imageries out there of old dhows, beautiful Maasai people, and you could almost say the Maasai were the face of Africa in the 1850s. They were the people best known to the world. And then Stone Town with its thick chalky walls. And for me, I thought that the combination of all of these three elements, Maasai have been photographed forever. Stone Town's been photographed, I say no more. And dhows, you know, there's no horizon in East Africa without a dhow sail on it. But putting the whole three together was a new angle.
Photography plays a big role in exploration and discovery, and this exhibition titled The Asana Sante details just that. It is a black and white display captured through the eyes of one talented individual, David Ballum. Trendz attended the exhibition evening and got the opportunity to chat with Ballum.
I've been toying with Zanzibar for a couple of years, actually. Never really kind of been entirely sure of whether to go and to do it. But yeah, Mark had this idea of shooting the Maasai and Zanzibar and the dhows, and you know, we kind of bantered about it for quite some time, and then it was earlier this year it was, well, let's just do it, let's go, let's do it. So, you know, Mark was there for a couple of days, but you know, for me it was also, okay, now there's a real reason to go to Zanzibar, let's do this, and then I stayed for another 10 days, 11 days, shooting my own stuff, you know.
Ballum has in the past few years become accustomed to black and white photography as opposed to colour. We were curious to know his reasons behind it.
I've always liked black and white photography. Since I was a student, I mean, it was just, there was a magic to black and white, which I enjoy colour photography, but it doesn't excite me. And I'm a fanatic for tones. You know, I love the kind of tones, the gradients and the greys, and you know, it never bores me. You know, and there's a lot of images that work in black and white. You know, and one gets into a headspace. You start looking in black and white. You start kind of working out. You start seeing things and knowing how it's going to translate into a black and white image. And
visiting Amatuli in Cremerville, Sandton is an experience worth trying. The place is a gem waiting to be learnt.
And now the countdown has officially speeded up, with just 2 weeks away from the 22nd Annual South African Music Awards. So if you're still thinking about getting yourself a ticket to go watch the biggest music ceremony in South Africa, you better do it quickly, because it's going to be a jump off. Now, the contenders for this year's awards were announced on the 21st of April in Soweto, where Nati, Black Coffee, Ricky Rick, MT and Zonke got the most nominations. Now, the short list of nominees for the Record of the Year is out for you to vote for your favorite song of 2015. There are playlists out on iTunes compiled by our favorite personalities, and so much more coming your way before the Durban Shindig goes down on Saturday, the 4th of June. Now in studio, I'm joined by SAMA CEO, Refilwe Ramokgase, and welcome, sir, to Trendz. Fantastic having you. I like that. Yes, Refilwe. Now, 22 years, the SAMAs have been there, you know, the beacon of celebrating South African icons, South African newcomers. What's in store for everybody this year, other than everything I've just mentioned?
A really exciting celebration, I think, of all things amazing about South African music. I think it's been a really vintage year. Yeah. A new location, a whole new energy, a total of 11 events over 4 days.
We need to talk about those.
Yes.
It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah. So
I mean, wow.
It's going to be
So what are the
exciting.
events? There's fashion shows. There's
Correct.
Let's talk about that. Yeah.
Thursday night we've got the launch of our goodie bag, which we're doing in association with the Durban Fashion Fair, where we're going to be having a fashion show, and then we're going to have like a mall experience for our goodie bag, for our goodie bag recipients.
Right.
On Friday, 5 events in total. There's a golf day, a summer golf day in the morning. We're having workshops out in Enanda, where we're going to be talking to the business of music with youngsters looking to get involved.
Always so important.
Correct.
You know, it's not just about the hype. It's
Exactly.
about creating a legacy, something that will live on even beyond yourself.
Absolutely. And
All
as a
right.
matter of fact, we'll be raising funds for the art center there.
Okay.
And we're going to be leaving a legacy because that art center itself actually is not electrified. And as summer, we've committed to actually making sure that we leave with the facility being electrified when we leave.
Fantastic. Okay, so there's your master classes, jazz evening, the
Correct.
pre-party, of course, and all other parties.
So much going on.
The summers are taking Durban over.
Absolutely. It's going to be an absolute Durban takeover. We're most
Yeah.
excited about that PVA on Saturday.
Right.
The public viewing area is going to take place as essentially a street carnival, where we're going to be closing the road that connects the Hilton Hotel as well as the ICC and the Expo Center. It's called Walnut Road. Full-on festival there. Mixture of all things South African music. Really exciting times. Tickets are going to be available, and it's only going to be 150 rands
Wow.
from Wednesday onwards for the public viewing.
From
area.
Wednesday onwards. Okay,
Yeah.
from the 25th of May, tickets will be available for
Correct.
sale. Okay, let's talk about as well, you know, the music icons that will be honored this year. The legendary, you know, Nana Coyote, Bekumuzi Lutuli, and folk rock icon, Roger Lucy.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
In each, I mean, when you think about them, each of them carries such an incredible legacy. Roger Lucy, in many ways, it's a very unpopular thing to be white and to be anti-establishment. You know, through his music results in the security police establishment essentially curtailing and robbing him of a music career.
Right.
He ends up in his life actually being a bartender and a doorman at the venues that he used to perform at because of what the security police do to him.
Jeez.
So we want to honor him for
And all
specifically
of
his
these
contribution.
people actually have such amazing stories
Correct.
behind just the personality and their music, you know what I mean?
Correct.
DJ Black Coffee as well, it's been a phenomenal year, 2 years for him. He's also getting a special award.
Correct, international recognition.
Yep.
He's going to join the pantheon of former winners that include Wouter Kellerman, who was a Grammy Award winner,
Yeah.
another Grammy Award winner in Ladysmith Black Mambazo, Goldfish
Fantastic.
as well as previously won that award.
Oh my goodness. Quickly, the playlist?
The playlists.
Yeah.
Guys, go to our, on Apple Music, under Apple Connect, search for Summer 22. And you're going to find playlists from all those South Africans. You've always wondered what their top 22 South African songs were.
Yeah.
You'll find Bonang, you'll find Black Coffees, you'll
Sure.
find Bra Hughes. All manner of South Africans have contributed.
Fantastic. So they're
Yeah.
top 22 all
Yes.
time. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes.
I mean, so many ideas coming out of this, so many things happening. I don't know how you'll be able to separate yourself. Maybe you have 5 clones of yourself. But clearly, you know, it's going to be crazy in Durban. That's the 4th of June at the Durban ICC, but everything around the area as well will have something summer related.
Correct. Townships, town, a bit of summer for everybody. And if you can't make it to Durban, SABC 1, 8 p.m., Red Carpet Show, 7:30 p.m.
Oh, wow. Have you got your outfit?
Yeah, I'm getting it designed specially.
Of course. Thank you so very much, Arifil. A pleasure having you here.
Thank you so much.
All right.
All right.
And now a massive fundraising campaign staged by celebrity actors in the United Kingdom to raise money for South African charity organizations that support children in the arts, mostly from disadvantaged areas, has inspired local actors to put together their own good cause to pay it forward. Now, actors who came together to raise funds for the event are thespians, the likes of the legendary, you know, Silo Makegangube, Jamie Bartlett, and Robert Whitehead, amongst others. Take a look.
We caught up with an all-star cast of the children's monologues during their rehearsal at the Market Theatre. These artists go through a lot of hard work to put their craft together, from body warming to voice training. This one-night production seeks to raise funds for the Dramatic Need charity organization based in the Free State. It was definitely not an easy task for James Ngobo, who is the artistic director.
It's been dealing with these testimonies and realizing sometimes young people in our country see things they shouldn't see. And when you sit in the theater and listen to these stories are a collection of your your truthful and quintessential moments of what happens out there.
This production was first adopted in the UK to fundraise for children that were into the art space. Ember, who is the director at Dramatic Need, was humbled to have been able to bring such a concept to South Africa and for a good cause.
Very emotional. These stories have travelled around the world. They've been performed in New York, in London, in Oregon, in Australia. They've been performed out of the mouths of Nicole Kidman and Benedict Cumberbatch and all of these amazing actors. And that means nothing to these children. The people that they connect with are the people in South Africa. And for these stories to come home is a very emotional moment for them. It's a brave thing for a child to sit down and say what's been the hardest thing they've ever experienced. But it's a very proud moment for that story, for that difficult time to be taken and made into something particularly moving and beautiful on the stage here in their country by the people that they've long admired. That's a very emotional but very empowering thing. So we feel, I've been trying not to cry all day, but the kids have been much more stoic than me and have shown real class.
Among some of the stars in this all-star cast was Masa Sambangeni, who says she was stunned at how talented these children were.
I think it's stunning. I'm a bit sad that it went to the RSC first before it came to South Africa. Seeing as these were homegrown stories, it would have been great if it started here. But either way, you know, the Dramatic Need is doing wonderful work in the community, such as Ramulotsi and other spaces that they've been to. And so, you know, it's just wonderful to be able to support a cause like this and to be able to help them keep the good work going. Because I know as a kid, theatre and drama was the thing that helped me gain confidence and help me discover myself. And to know that Dramatic Need is doing that for other children is incredible.
This is Mpo, who couldn't believe at first that dreams do come true. He is one of the young people whose monologue was chosen. He also got a role to tell his own story.
I'm so excited that the monologue has been played here. Then what I know is that there are many people here who have potential, who have submitted, but at least mine brought a voice, and I'm glad that it's been played here.
The children's monologues brings alive the true stories of more than 200 children in rural South Africa. Ngobo worked with executive producer Mfundi Mvundla on this production, and this was staged last night at the Market Theatre.
Fantastic initiative. After the break, we have a premiere of the latest South African rom-com starring Dineo Moeketsi, Thapelo Mokoena and Lehasa Moloi. And also, we talk about the upcoming Soweto Fashion Week.
Vera Ephraim defied family and traditions to follow her dream.
Decided that I'm going to prove to them that they were wrong.
The first breakthrough came in when she was studying and touring in Europe.
That was my first breakthrough.
Generations was her first television debut in South Africa.
It was my first gig. I was very excited, I was very happy. I said, yeah, this is confirmation I'm at the right place.
After pain, rejection and suffering, her dream became a reality.
I followed my path, and I'm happy, I'm grateful, I'm blessed.
Join your host, Puleng Mulabati, on Bupilong every Friday at 17:30.
Welcome back to Trendz. Now, a new exhibition by esteemed South African artist William Kendridge has just opened in the German capital of Berlin. Now, the man known as South Africa's most expensive living artist draws inspiration from his home country, of course, South Africa. Now, our correspondent Iris Spitzer got us the scoop.
A larger-than-life figure in the contemporary art world.
Visitors to the new exhibition called No It Is may not get to see William Kentridge in person, but the Johannesburg native makes his presence felt, and his unique vision is on full display here at Berlin's Martin Gropius Bau.
Why is he accepted worldwide? Because I think he found a language which can be understood in all parts of the world.
But how can a museum exhibition do justice to an artist who's known for being hard to categorize, with work that often starts with charcoal drawings that can morph into animations and full-fledged live theater productions? In this case, by trying to show his creative process with input from Kentridge himself.
Some of the rooms are installed like an art chamber, like one of these medieval art chambers where you could find all kind of works of art and works of nature. And that is what Kentridge wanted to say. My studio is like an art chamber, and something comes out which I can present here.
South Africa has long played a key role in Kentridge's work. The son of two human rights lawyers who represented apartheid victims, his art has often touched on political themes. His hometown of Johannesburg in particular has had a profound impact.
Because of the mines, it's constantly evolving and constantly changing and disappearing and coming back again. And I think, and he's talked about this, I think that's had a big impact on the way he creates work. The natural evolution was that to then become animation, to become film.
Dudley is a Kentridge collaborator who has performed in his multimedia chamber operas. An interesting aspect of Kentridge's style is that he often coordinates with vast numbers of people, such as while making this film projection called More Sweetly Play the Dance.
It's a lot of trust that he has, and the lovely thing with William is that when you feel trusted, it feels like it's a bit of a gift that's been given to you, so then you can go off and have fun with it.
Kentridge is one of the preeminent living South African artists, and his work appears in collections, including at London's Tate Modern and New York's Modern Museum of Art.
William Kentridge fans have a lot to look forward to this summer in Berlin. The artist himself will be back in the city in July, where he'll take part in a series of performances. Ira Spitzer, SABC News, Berlin.
Thank you, Ira. Fantastic news coming out of Germany about South Africa. Now moving on to our next story, Jeba Senganga, HP, and the Soweto String Quartet recently shared the spotlight in a live musical performance initiated by a luxurious whiskey brand for the launch of their latest range. Now Trendz attended the launch, of course, and enjoyed the epic performance. Let's take a look.
The Glenlivet is, by reference, the oldest house in the parish of Speyside. We've been creating whiskey for nearly 200 years. Our event this evening, we've released Nadura, and Scots Gaelic means natural. And the point of it being natural is that for those individuals around the world who can't go to a distillery and try the whiskey themselves straight from the cask, that's exactly what we've recreated today.
We all sat chatting about it, thinking how we can take the heritage that Peter's spoken to, the 200 years, the craft behind it, but also bring the relevant contemporary element to it. And there was such a nice synergy between the two groups. They had a wonderful rapport, and we actually heard that before one of the string quartet musicians is his son's actually a rapper, and he looks up to WHP as a real mentor. So there's just been this whole circle of a real full evolution and revolution, and that's basically what we wanted to achieve.
The Soweto String Quartet is celebrating its 30th anniversary this year. The group has achieved global fame for its unique brand of African-infused classical music. This collaboration with WHP came at a time where the band was looking to explore other genres of music.
This collaboration, it actually came as a surprise, but a very good surprise, because you know what, the merging of these two genres of musical styles proves that music is a universal language. So you know what, so I think it actually works very, very, very well. We've enjoyed ourselves, and I think the audience have actually enjoyed themselves. So there is only one way forward.
He made his mark in the music industry by bringing a unique sound, rapping in his home language, Setswana. His sound gave birth to a style of music called Motswako. He tells us what the collaboration with the Soweto String Quartet means to him.
Yo, the Soweto String Quartet collaboration was probably like one of those things you can only think of, you know, like, I mean, it's not even something that's from a fictional book, because I really feel like as I was playing with them, especially during Music and Life, there's a moment where I turned back and looked at them and I thought, you know, this is how actually it should be. I should have a string quartet playing with me all the time. I need to have a horn section playing with me all the time. I've got a choir as well of 12 singers. If I could do a proper Jabba show, man, I would kill it. For me, man, today's performance, you know, it was almost like to say, you are validated to want to perform like this, and we need to find a way of getting brands to understand this.
Fantastic performance over there. And now Soweto Fashion Week and its subsidiaries are looking forward to another exciting autumn-winter season showcase. The Uplifting Fashion Week is scheduled to start on the 25th, that's next week Wednesday, and run up until the 28th of May, and it will present collections from existing and upcoming young and talented designers. I'm now in studio joined by Soweto Fashion Week founder Steven Manzini, stylist Thomas Tseola, and brand manager Leanne De Vera to talk about everything fashion happening from next week. Welcome to the studio, guys. Everybody, jeez. Yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag, and also the lovely models who are here in studio as well. Yes. Stephen, 5 years into this, you are still pushing, you know, fashion, people being aware of it, the business of it, and of course, nurturing up-and-coming designers. Tell us more.
Yeah, it's been a journey. 5 years is not child's play, but we intend to going 50 more years, you know, doing this. Yeah. So over the years, you know, we've brought up upcoming designers. We've
and let's talk about some of those. Who are those designers who have actually, you know, made a bit of a name for themselves ever since being launched by Soweto Fashion Week?
I don't know if you know them, but we've got Touch of Bling. We've got Urban Zulu. They came from Soweto Fashion Week. We've got quite a number, you know, I could just name them like that, but yeah, there's quite a number of them that have sprung up from Soweto Fashion Week.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And I mean, with yourself, are you primarily a businessman who, you know, obviously saw a gap, especially regarding Soweto and fashion and doing this kind of thing? Or do you also have a bit of creative talents? Do you design as well? Do you style? What is your background, in a way to say?
Okay, my background is that I studied business management.
Okay.
I had no, you know, intentions of going to the fashion industry, but over time I realized the gap that was there, you know, in the fashion industry. I was a model. I modeled for about a year, and then I realized the gap that was there. That
you went off the ramp.
I went off the ramp. I said, let me go into the business side of it.
All right, fantastic. Leanne, let me bring you into this conversation, of course. Thank you so very much for coming. And you are brand manager for Darling Hair, which is one of the major sponsors for the Soweto Fashion Week. Tell us about, I mean, of course, fashion, hair, it's an entire look head to toe. Yeah, so tell us what Darling is bringing this year to the stage.
So first of all, I mean, Darling prides themselves on, you know, empowering women. So we found that joining with Soweto Fashion Week, it's a perfect fit because they're uplifting the community, and you know they get local designers, local models, and they come in and they just go on ramp, and you know they uplift, and that's why we found it's a perfect fit to Soweto Fashion Week, and that's what we've been doing for 4 years.
And I mean, I don't know if it was the case last year, but I think this year now more than ever, with, you know, the trend of going more ethnic in terms of hairstyles, you know, the Darling hair must be booming because, you know, if people aren't going natural, they're going natural in terms of the hairstyles that they are doing on their heads.
Yeah. So Darling Hair is a leading manufacturer in weaves, braids, and curls. So we're a pan-African brand. We
known all over Africa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Made
fantastic.
in Africa for
the
Africa.
Models that I see over there, hi there, guys. And of course, you know, the models there are looking fantastic. Very interesting and unique hairstyles as well. Yeah, let's talk about those.
Well, what you see here, it's just a sneak preview for Soweto Fashion Week. Okay. So what's going to happen on stage for the show? We'll have your classic, which is your everyday look, because we want to capture that market as well, and we'll have your avant-garde, which is your ramp look. So what I did here today is it's a bit of grey, which is trending, my first model here, and then I've got natural on my second model,
right,
which is all trending. So I try to accessorize it.
You mixed the two. Wow, Thomas, and how long have you been a stylist? I mean, I'm sure, you know, doing and creating fantastic hairstyles like this, you've been around the block quite a while.
I've been a stylist for over 15 years, eh?
Oh, wow.
And I've got...
And you do everything?
I do everything, from your Caucasian, wet hair products, and dry hair.
Okay, all right. And I mean, what else? What are the trends right now? Going into autumn, winter, what are the trends? And maybe talk a little bit just about protective hairstyles, especially for, you know, our hair which gets drier in winter.
Well, the trends now for autumn, winter, it's your boot colors and warm colors. I'm talking about your chestnut, which is like your warm colors, and your platinum and ebon colors, and your platinum gray as well.
Okay.
So, and then protective styling, like a lot of people when they do braids, especially, or weave, they don't take care of their hairline.
Yep.
It recedes. They don't do treatments afterwards. So it's important and necessary that every 4 weeks, when you undo your braids or weave, you need to do a treatment.
Tell
like
them, Thomas. Tell all the ladies watching, and even guys. Guys have hair nowadays, more not. They better do their treatments. They must come find you. You know what I mean?
It's very strange that I'm a stylist.
And thank you so very much. Lovely looks, ladies. So, Stephen, yes. So, 25th to the 28th. What are your social media handles? Where can people get more information about everything that will be happening next week? Are you going to have a concert? What else is happening surrounding Soweto Fashion Week?
Okay, we've got a pre-launch party on the 25th. Where people get to network with the designers and network with the stakeholders that are involved in Soweto Fashion Week. And then from the 26th
How many designers, by the way, are we talking about? Do you know?
We've got 18 designers.
Okay.
And then plus 6 accessory designers, which makes it about 24.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so from 26th to 28th, then to be fashion, autumn, winter. Our handles, Twitter is @Soweto Fashion Week, Instagram Soweto Fashion Week, Facebook Soweto Fashion Week, and www.sowetofashionweek.com.
Fantastic. Just from you, Leanne, last word. What is it about Darling that makes it the hair brand?
So, I mean, as I said, it's about quality, and it's not, you know, we know that the African brand, it's not just, I mean, about your hair, but we also cater to different women. So we have a lot of products and a lot of colors because we understand that every woman is unique.
Yeah.
So therefore we have to cater for every individual, and that's why we've got a variety of products in all different colors to cater for that unique woman.
Fantastic.
And we know it's not all about, you know, your hair, but it's also about the outfit, and that makes your woman confident.
It's the look from head to
from
toe.
head to toe.
Thank you so very much for joining us, guys. 25th to the 28th, Soweto Fashion Week, and it's the 5th year. Congratulations to you, Stephen, and your team for the work that you keep on doing. And I mean, all the designers that you mentioned, and even the ones who've gone to do great things, your Urban Zulus and whatever. Fantastic, fantastic work. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Okay.
Viewers, and tonight is the premiere of the much anticipated film Mrs. Right Guy, starring leading lady Dineo Moeketsi, who has done an incredible job in this film. The stars came out to play. Rosebank in Johannesburg was set alight, and now let's do the red carpet interview. Say the kind of guy that you are, but I want you to tell the folks.
Tell me
about your role.
Okay, cool. He is a determined brother, a hard-working brother who's worked his way from the bottom all the way to the top. And when we find him in this film, he's already sitting on the top of his world at that point. He's a special guy in the sense that he's not linear. He's quite multi-layered as a character, and he's the type of person that somewhat believes that is God's answer to everybody's problem, to everybody's greatness. The good and bad he does to people has nothing to do with the fact that he's just a mean guy, but he's somehow entitled. And this is why I love playing him.
So congratulations, first of all, on a fantastic film. And you are that guy, Joe. Tell us about Joe.
Wow, Joe, hey, as you said it, he's that guy, yeah? He's that guy. Joe is Jimmy comes to Joburg, okay? And he's down to earth, he's an entrepreneur, he's here to, you know, make money, feed his family, and he's a really sweet man. So, as I say, like, he's how they used to, you know how they say they don't make them like they used to? That's Joe.
Dineo, congratulations. Your first leading lady role.
Yo. Like, I'm shocked. I'm looking around, and every time I see someone who's seen me hustle, struggle, win, I want to cry, and I'm trying my best not to.
But tell us about, when you first saw the script and you were like, you know what, there's something about this girl that I think I can do and portray in the best of your ability.
The script kept calling me back. I auditioned all the way in 2011. Had to come through. Then they were like, yeah, audition for Anna, Thando Tabeta's role. I was like, all right, cool, I could do that. Then they kept quiet for a little while. As they kept quiet, I was like, movie Ayazahal. They called me back, they're like, we want you to audition for the lead now. I audition. Silence again. I was like, okay, I'm putting this acting thing, because I'd done a lot of things, a lot of small things. Then they called at the brink of I'm done, and they said, you've got the role. Won't he do it? Won't he do it?
A big congratulations to Dineo Moeketsi on a lovely, lovely film. Go support it. 27th of May, that's when the film comes out at cinemas. And now I'm in studio with a guy.
What up, my sister? How are you, sister?
Thank you so very much, Skoko, for being here. This guy is about to revolutionize and bring back everything that we loved about the Kwaito industry.
Definitely,
welcome.
90%, mama.
Welcome,
90%.
And tell us about this album you're working with. You're working with legends, Mandla Spikere. Tell us more.
It's very interesting, Mama. The name of the project is called Kwaito Revolution, which features various artists, Brixie, Bomshoza, everyone, and me, myself, and I. Yeah. Skoko, obvious. So it's a booming album. It's out now. People must go get it, Mama. All right. And it goes with the package.
Fantastic.
250 package, Mama.
Fantastic. What song are you going to perform for us? Your energy is just amazing. What are you doing?
I've been waiting for this moment, Mama. For 90%. Thank you, I'm going to perform a song called Kwaito Revolution Santaro for the people and for you.
All right.
Yes, Mama.
Fantastic. For everybody who's been worried about there not being enough music that will support this 90%, well, here we go.
Definitely.
Thank you so very much. Join me next week on Trendz.
Run over this baby, and yes, Shamayaka Sancharo. Yo, Shamayaka Sancharo. Oh no, yes, Countess, she's our baby. To Messi by everybody wants to. Yes, Countess, Chinese Pantolas, Betty, Amatamala. Yes, Countess, Betty, yes, others, 552. Yes, Countess, Betty, others, Sky, Shiny, Matata. Yes,